Hari Bol.
Haribol Prabhu. Seems no one's here today.
Well, the music is here.
Beautiful. Thank you. I had a one-to-one private session, music session.
That was a one-on-one there.
Yeah.
Nobody else got that one.
Nope.
That was for Mitchum only.
Ah, Jay.
one up for Mitchum.
Yeah.
I know Mitchum well. Good gosh. The times I've driven through Mitchum to get from Tooting to Thornton Heath.
That's it.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Okay, Jay Prabhu's here.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes. I know all the shops in Mitcham as well, and Collingswood.
Yeah. It's all changed though, Prabhu. It's become
Yeah,
more
well-
congested probably when you come back and you think, oh my gosh.
Yeah, things do change, but you know, so do we. And we also change. We change bodies.
True.
So what to speak of changing a few stores and a few roads?
Yeah.
Change bodies.
Yeah.
So you know, this is the world of change. But there is a world where there's not even a little bit of change. That's nice. No change at all. Everything stays the same. Forever. Wow, big deal that is. Forever and ever. Amen. Okay, so let's go to my accountant just said, Hare Krishna Jai.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Hare Krishna Sri.
Hare Krishna Prakash.
My accountant just sent me this. My accountant is Shankar Bush in Finchley. He just
Okay.
sent this. He just sent this to me now.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
That's it. No words. Just that was the one mantra he sent.
Nice. Very nice tune.
He said that's going to cost you. Oh, hang on a minute. My
He
account,
added to your bill.
that's going to. I won't play that part. That's going to cost you 10 Rascoolas, he said. Oh dear. So yeah, let's just start, and the others will come in their own time. If they don't, it's okay. We carry on reading. Krishna 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 Hey Jai.
Krishna 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 Hey.
Krishna 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 Rakshamam.
Krishna 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 Pahimam.
Rama Raghav Rama Raghav Rama Raghav Rakshamam.
Shamarani?
Krishna Keshava Krishna Keshava Krishna Keshava Pahimam.
There we go. That's the invocation. And we can all recite Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Here's something for your edification. Here's something for your edification. Not this one. Not that one. Where is it now? Let's have a look here. Let's have a look there and look there. Right, for your edification. I just learned this by the by as I've been doing my Sanskrit lessons and learning and teaching the shlokas system and encouraging everyone to learn shlokas. One a week for most people. For people more inclined, 2 a week. For people who are serious, 1 a day. But those who are very serious, 2 a day.
Wow.
And for those who are on the ball, 3 a day.
Oh, wow.
Those who want to go back to Godhead, 4 a day. And for those who want to develop love for Krishna, 5 a day. But for those who are just happy to go along, 1 a week. 1 a week doesn't seem so much now, does it? See? But then again, if it was one a day, 50 pound a shloka, we'd have a lot of takers.
Yeah, I'm sure.
A lot of takers we would be having. I can guarantee it. A lot of people will be, they'd be into it. Hey, 1 a day, how much is that a week? Jai, how much is that a week?
Lots.
So 350, take away the tax. Take away the income tax.
Depends whether it's a basic rate or higher rate.
Well, it's still on the basic rate. Even it's 50 quid a day is not a lot these days. You go
Depends
back
on the income you have.
50 years ago, 50 pound a day is a fortune.
Yeah.
I'm just looking here. I can't seem. Oh, I've got it here. But do I have it in Sanskrit? Do I have it in Sanskrit? I don't think I do. It's a shame. I'm slacking there. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. As you can see, I've got 163 slides here and counting.
Wow.
And counting. There's loads to learn with the. This is one of the shlokas we're learning. Have that before breakfast. But I guarantee people, if they learn shlokas, they make a lot of spiritual advancement fast.
Yeah.
Because you're installing Krishna in your heart. If it's done with the right motive, if it's done to impress people, if it's done to enhance your position materially, if it's done for any material motive, then it becomes asar or useless. But if it's done properly with the right attitude, the right motive, it is very empowering. That's what I got on the Mayapur TV. Have you seen my channel on Mayapur TV?
I haven't actually, Prabhu. I must look into that. Yeah.
You haven't seen my channel?
Not yet. No.
That Jai?
I've seen it, but I haven't really followed it as such. But yeah.
Well, no, I'm not saying for you to follow it, but at least you've seen it.
Yes.
Well, you don't get onto Mayapur TV if you're not doing something valuable. You've got to be doing something, valuable. And that doesn't mean I'm valuable. What I'm doing is valuable, you see.
Of course you are, Prabhu.
That's the whole thing, is what we're doing has got merit. So I want you to have a look here, for your edification. Jigna, are you on board?
Hare Krishna, yes.
Thank you, Jigna. I want you to just look here. So when we're reciting this invocation here, obviously this is the first verse of the Srimad Bhagavatam here, but this invocation, it's Om Namo Bhagavate Va, right? So we've got Om Namo Bhagavate is one word, okay? Om, then Nam, then we got Na, Namo, and immediately Bhagavate. So we haven't got this, okay? We've got this. Now for the English version, because English is such a poor language, if you do that, people are going to start having headaches if we do that to the English language. So we got to separate it, okay? However, effectively, there should be this there. But that doesn't really look very nice anyway. So what we've got is a separation, but there's factually no separate. So when we recite it, it's Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we got the long Va here.
Mhm.
Vasu. There's a Sa, there's a U. Devaya. So effectively, when we recite it, it is Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Can we all have a go at that, please? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate. All right. Om Namo Bhagavate. Om Namo Bhagavate. It's like one word. It's not Om Namo Bhagavate. It's not two separate. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And remember also this air at the end, tear, this tear here, the Sanskrit A, I, O, R, they're all dirgha vowels. So even the air is long also. So we've got Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. That's the actual pronunciation. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Okay, Jigna, you want to have a go? Don't worry if you get it wrong. Just give it a try.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Not bad, not bad. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. It's like a song, you know, it's like you're singing. Sanskrit is designed so that by the dirgha and hrasva swaras in Sanskrit, it's designed so that you sing it, but naturally, you see, because you got long, short. So, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Go on, Jai. Show us how it's done.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
And the Queen of Mitcham. Go on, Shamarani. We've got Rani in your name.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
That's really good. Om Namo Bhagavate, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Okay, so I'd like you in your own time, take a screenshot of this, please. Take a screenshot of that. And in your own time, I'd like you just to practice this Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Because, you know, majority of our devotees at the temple, they don't even know how to chant this properly. And we chant every day in the class. We chant it in bhajans. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We do it in a kirtan, in dunes. But, you know, it's an elementary thing, but we don't know how to chant it correctly. So this is where we have a little movement going on within ISKCON, within the Kirtan ministry, and it's called the Sanskrit Pronunciation Department. And there's a devotee called Nityananda Prabhu, who has been learning Sanskrit for 15 years now. I think he's from a Slavic country. I don't know where he's from exactly. He's based in Mayapur. And I'm doing slokas, slokas and pronunciation together. So we're trying to create an awareness of at least, you know, just say this mantra nicely, this basic mantra. Om Namo Bhagavate Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Go on, Jigna, give it another go.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Really good. Jai.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
And Shamarani.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Yeah, your air was a bit short, but still it was good. Okay, it's a small thing, but you know, the small things matter in devotional service. The little things, the details, they're important. The details, as they say, if you look after your pennies, the pound looked after themselves. Isn't that right? Jai Prakash knows all about this. He keeps telling us, I'm sure you've lectured a few of your clients on this point. Look after your pennies and the pounds look after themselves.
But they don't listen.
No, of course they don't. Of course. They'll never listen. They'll never listen. That's why you're an accountant and they're the client. Okay, so let's carry on then with the wonderful, this very interesting Bumblebee episode with Uddhava and the gopis of Vrindavan and the whole Leela there. Yeah, carry on. Yeah, Jai.
Okay. While Radharani was talking with the bee, and the bee was flying hither and thither, it all of a sudden disappeared from her sight. She was in full mourning due to separation from Krishna and felt ecstasy by talking with the bee. But as soon as the bee disappeared, she became almost mad, thinking that the messenger bee must have returned to Krishna to inform him all about her talking against him. Krishna must be very sorry to hear it, she thought. In this way, she was overwhelmed by another type of praise. Sorry. She was overwhelmed by another type of ecstasy. In the meantime, the bee flying hither and thither appeared before her again. She thought, Krishna is still kind to me. In spite of the messenger carrying disruptive messages, he is so kind that he has again sent the bee to take me to him. Srimati Radharani was very careful this time not to say anything against Krishna. My dear friend, I welcome you, she said. Krishna is so kind that he has again sent you. Krishna is so kind and affectionate to me that he has fortunately sent you back, in spite of your carrying my message against him. All good fortune to you, my dear friend. Now you may ask from me whatever you want. I shall give you anything because you are so kind to me. You have come to me. You have come to take me to Krishna because he is not able to come here, being surrounded by new girlfriends in Mathura. But you are a tiny creature. How can you take me there? How will you be able to help me meet Krishna while he is taking rest there with the goddess of fortune and embracing her to his chest? Never mind, let us forget all these things about my going there or sending you. Please let me know how Krishna is faring in Mathura. Tell me if he still remembers foster father Nand Maharaj, his affectionate mother Yashoda, his cowherd friends, and his poor friends like us, the gopis. I'm sure he must sometimes sing about us, who served him just like maidservants without any payment. Is there any possibility that Krishna will come back and place a guru-centered hand on our heads? Please put all these inquiries to Krishna.
Okay, so what we have to remember here, what we should try to remember is this poor old bumblebee hasn't got a clue what's going on. He doesn't have a clue. He's just looking for some nectar, some pollen, and he's just going around the flower. And Radharani's experiences something called Urdguna. Remember the word from last week? Urdguna? Does anyone remember what that is? Urdguna.
Is it bewilderment?
Yes, bewilderment. and also Jalpa Prati Jalpa. Jalpa Prati Jalpa. Two things Radharani's experiencing here. Urdguna and Jalpa Prati Jalpa. Don't you look at that book. Have a guess. Jalpa Prati Jalpa. Crazy talks. Okay, so Radharani is experiencing something that's mentioned in the Sad Goswami Ashtakam by Srinivasacharya. Prabhupada used to sing this. In fact, we used to wake up in the morning back in the when we was in the ashram in the early 80s and late 70s, early 80s, and we used to wake up at whatever time, 3:30, usually about 3:45, we would rise, and in those days that we had tape cassettes and a clock timer. I don't know if you remember those, but there was a clock timer. So it was an electronic clock with, if I remember it rightly, it had a black background with red numbers on it, digital numbers, and it had a tape in it. And the tape would go off. We'd set it to go off at 3:45, and then we would wake up hearing Prabhupada singing the Sad Goswami Ashtakam. I can recommend this to anyone. If you want to wake up very happy in the morning, wake up to Prabhupada singing the Sad Goswami Ashtakam. Or the other one was Yashomati Nandan, because it was on the other side. You wake up to hear Prabhupada, you're in Vaikuntha, you wake up and you're literally, it's an incredible experience. I can appreciate it now. Then it was like, you're in it, so you can't see the woods for the trees. But now I really do appreciate the blessing of hearing Prabhupada first thing in the morning. The Sad Goswami Ashtakam? Krishna Kirtana Gana Nartana Karo Premam. This song by Srinivasacharya about the Sad Goswamis, 6 Goswamis. Krishna Kirtana Gana Nartana Karo Premam or Nidhi, something like that. Prema. And there's word in it. He Radhe Bhajadevige Jalalite He Nanda Shunu Kata. And then it goes on, Premon Mada. Premon Mada. That the Goswamis in Vrindavan, in Radhakund, in different places, they were experiencing Premon Mada, which is madness in love of Krishna. Who would like to experience madness in love for Krishna? Madness in love for Krishna. Now, madness in love for Krishna. Smita, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Tell me kem cho ajat.
Okay, thank you.
Very good. Now, what we're talking about, Radharani's been speaking to that bumblebee, you see.
Oh,
Smita.
yes.
She's been at it again. The bumblebee don't know nothing. It doesn't know what's going on. It's not a messenger of Krishna. It just happens to be there. But Radharani's talking to him and getting angry. Then she's apologizing. This is all the aspects of Premon Mada, which is madness in love for Krishna. You see? Like if we are speaking to bumblebees, I saw one in the garden this morning, the first one I've seen. Has anyone seen bumblebee this year so far? Yes? I just saw one just now in the bush out there. We got one shrub at the front of the property, and I saw a bumblebee there. Now, if I start talking to that bumblebee and getting angry with it and then apologizing, what do you think the neighbors are going to think? This man is he's bumbling and mumbling. So he's crazy fellow. So this type of madness, you see, is there in the features of Urdguna which Jigna just correctly said it's bewilderment when you're bewildered, and the other one is jalpa pratijalpa. Okay, Hare Krishna, Alex. Hari Bol. It's the great Alex. Oh, your sound is off.
It's Hare Krishna, Hari Bol. I
Oh.
really missed last week, so I'm happy that I can join you now. Apologies for being late.
Well, I wouldn't call you Alexander the Great. I would say just say the great Alex. Alexander the Great, he conquered parts of India. He was a rascal.
Yes, I don't want to be. Prabhu, my name is is longer Vaishnav names. I had to change my name to get a job.
Oh, really?
Long story, but
Okay, interesting. Okay.
my name is Alex Lalji Devji Vishram Mauji Harji Govind Ganjani. So I've been Vaishnav for a long time, but it's very interesting to live in the Western economy, to be able to carry on, you know.
That sounds like a catchy name to me.
Yeah, it's a Kachi name, pure Kachi name.
It's got to be catchy, that one.
Yeah.
Kachma kasu nai pake par bhagat pake. I learned that when I was in Bhuj and Madhapur in 1982.
Yeah.
Yeah, we visited Kutch from Jamnagar. We drove over from Dwarka, and we went up to Madhapur over the mountains there overnight. And the bus was full of full of Muslim people.
Okay.
And we were all these Dorio, white brahmacharis, you see, and all the Muslim guys are looking at us.
Yeah.
Like this. With their beards, you know. What are these people? What's happened? What's going on? Because, you know, they have this problem. They are Yavana race, or Yavanas are against Vedic culture. We shouldn't be surprised if Yavana, these people, are against the Vedic culture. It's a historical thing.
Yeah.
It's gone on for thousands and thousands of years. So we shouldn't be disturbed by it. And they would never succeed.
Yeah.
A great Yavana, he attacked Mathura. We're going to read about it shortly.
Yeah.
And Kalayavana, he attacked Mathura. He was from Persia. Yavana. They're opposed to Vedic culture, you see, naturally. But anyway, that's just the way it is. That's just, we have to tolerate that.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but please carry on. Please carry on.
So, so anyway, the bumblebee's getting the sauce from Radharani. He doesn't know what's going on. He's just a simple insect. Radharani's experiencing all this madness now. And she's just talking and talking and talking, as if the bumblebee can understand. And we've got to the point now that she's asking him to please put these inquiries. She's saying, look, you know, I'm inquiring how Krishna is. Can you go and ask Krishna can you buzz over to Mathura, please? You know, buzz over there and ask Krishna how he's doing. Okay, so let's ask Shamarani was in first. Go ahead, Shamarani.
Hare Krishna. Uddhava was standing near and he heard Radharani talking in this way, as if she had become almost mad for Krishna. He was...
Oh, excuse me. Sorry about this. We are on this chapter, Uddhava. What's the chapter called?
Delivery of the message of Krishna to the gopis. Yes,
and we are way into it now. I don't know how much more we've got to go because I'm on my phone. I don't know how many pages are left, but we're at the latter part of the chapter. Okay, so Uddhava, carry on.
Over 20 odd pages, probably.
Yes, I know. So talk about. Jigna said something here. Hang on. Jigna says Uddhava was standing near. Okay, Uddhava was standing near. That's right. Yes, that's where we are. Thanks very much. Go on then, Shamarani.
Uddhava was standing near and he heard Radharani talking in this way, as if she had become almost mad for Krishna. He was exceedingly surprised at how the gopis were accustomed to think of Krishna constantly in that topmost ecstasy of Mahabhava love. He had brought a message in writing from Krishna, and now he wanted to present in before the gopis, just to pacify them. He said, "My dear gopis, your mission of human life is now successful. You are all wonderful devotees of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, you are eligible to be worshipped by all kinds of people. You are worshipable throughout the three worlds because your minds are wonderfully absorbed in the thought of Vasudeva, Krishna. He is the goal of all pious activities and ritualistic performances, such as giving charity, rigidly following the austerity of vows, undergoing severe penance, and igniting the fire of sacrifice. He is the purpose behind the chanting of different mantras, the reading of the Vedas, controlling the senses, and concentrating the mind in meditation. These are some of the many different processes for self-realization and attainment of perfection of life. But actually, they are meant only for realizing Krishna and dovetailing oneself in the transcendental loving service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is the last instruction of Bhagavad Gita also, although there are descriptions of different processes of self-realization. At the end, Krishna recommended one give up everything and simply surrender unto him. All other processes are meant for teaching one how to surrender ultimately onto the lotus feet of Krishna. The Bhagavad Gita also says that this surrendering process is completed by a sincere person executing the process of self-realization in wisdom and austerity after many births.
Yeah, that last statement that Srila Prabhupada has made there is actually a verse in Bhagavad Gita. I'm not expecting you to know that verse, but I will tell you it's in the 7th chapter and it's text number 19. Who can find Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, text 19 in a whiz? Smita, can you do it? Smita, go on, Smita.
Yeah, I can do it. Bhagavad Gita.
7:19. Come on, be the whiz kid tonight. Come on, you got to beat Alex. He's going for it. Alex is going for it.
Okay.
Jigna's nearly there. Jigna's
I'm
nearly
there.
there.
I'm there.
Oh, go on. Bahunam
After
Janmanam.
many births, Bahunam Jannaman Ante Jnanavan Mam Pradadyate Vasudeva Sarvam Iti Swamahatma Sudurabha
Durlabha.
Durlabha. After many births and deaths, he who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all that is. Such a great soul is very rare.
Yeah, therefore Prabhadyate Vasudeva Sarvamiti. So that's a very famous verse in Bhagavad Gita. It's quoted by Prabhupada many times. Of course, the most quoted verse in all of Prabhupada's books and all of Prabhupada's lectures and morning walks and his conversations is the 1866. Who knows 1866? It is the most quoted by far. 1866. Very, again and again and again and again, Prabhupada's quoted this verse.
I could be wrong. I'm only having a go.
Go on, Shamarani, go
I
on.
have no idea, but I'm just gonna have a go. Is it Madbhakto? Is that the one?
That's very close. That's 1865, I think, or 1855. That's close. Well done. 1865, that is. Not bad. Only one out.
Mm.
Go on, who's got 1866 in front of them? Come on, Jigna. Come on, Jigna.
I've got it here. Sarvadharman Prityajya Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja Aham Tvam Sarvapapebhyo Mokshaya Shamima Suchaha. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear.
Yes, the Krishna is telling you, give up any kind of dharma, any kind of religion, any kind of occupation, what you think you are. I'm a bus driver, I'm this, all right. You may be a bus driver, you may be an accountant, you may be a brain surgeon, you may be whatever. But what you really are is my eternal servant. And that other dharma is just a secondary, temporary occupation. It's not temporary upadi or designation. So Krishna is saying two things here: give up your designation, and also give up all these so-called religion, because the religion really is mostly based on getting to heaven to have a nice long holiday. You ask any Christian, why you go to church? Oh, I want to go to heaven. I don't want to go to hell. Vaishnavas, they don't care. This is the difference, you see. This is why Vaishnavism is not exactly like religion. The religionists, they're interested in going to heaven. They're fruitive workers. They're karmi, they're karmakandis. Whether they're Christians or Muslims or Hindus or Buddhists, whatever they are, or call themselves conveniently, they're mainly looking at the reward, you see, of going to heaven. But Vaishnava, in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 17, text number 38, Maharaj Chitraketu, he is making offense to Lord Shiva. So Parvati cursed him to become Vritrasura, a demon, in his next life. And he accepted it. He accepted the curse, the shrap, he accepted. And then Lord Shiva says a famous shloka, Narayana parasarve nakutaschana bhivyati swaga apavarga narakeshvapi tulyata darshinaha. This is a famous verse in the Prabhupada quoted many times. The Vaishnavas, they don't care whether they go heaven, hell, or they go into Apavarg, they go to Vaikuntha. For them, they will do the same business. And in the purport, Prabhupada said, a Vaishnava is exactly like a printing press. Whether the printing press is in heaven or it's in hell or in Vaikuntha, it'll do the same thing. It prints. So Vaishnava, wherever he is, he'll preach. And he'll encourage others. Preaching means to engage others. That's mentioned in Bhagavad Gita chapter 3, text number 26. 326. Who can find 326 quickly? Come on, 326. Who's going to get the Rasgula? Come on, Smita.
How will you get me the Rasgula?
I'll get it to you. Don't you worry. I'm coming there soon.
Okay.
I'm coming to Cheshambua.
Okay. I found it.
Go on.
Chapter 3, verse 26. Na buddhi bedam janayet ajna agyanam karma sanginam
Joshayet
sarva karmani vidhan
Vidvan
yuktaha samacharan. So as not to disrupt the minds of ignorant men attached to the fruitive results of prescribed duties, a learned man should not induce them to stop work. Rather, by working in the spirit of devotion, he should engage them in all sorts of activities for the gradual development of Krishna consciousness.
Yes. So expert, a preacher means that we engage others. Vidvan yukta. Yukta samachara. Samachara is another word for bhakti, complete works. So a vidvan, someone who is supposed to be vidvan, wise, doesn't waste time arguing. I'm right, you're wrong. This religion's the best way, whatever. No, they are expert in engaging people in serving Krishna. Even if it means that they have to be wrong or they have to lose the argument, it doesn't matter. The Vaishnava is so great that he's not interested in the ahankar business of I'm the winner, you're the loser, I'm right, you're wrong. This is all ahankar. Vaishnavas are above that. Their only thought is how to engage other people in connect them to Krishna somehow or other, even if it means they're wrong. They are seen to be wrong or loser, whatever people say, get a job, whatever they want to say, it's fine as long as we engage them somehow. This is anyway, we just diverted slightly, but I'm just sort of giving you a little bit of a broader perspective here of that point. Okay, Jigna, take on the next one.
Ask a question.
Yes, Prabhu.
There's mention here that Krishna recommends that one give up everything and simply surrender unto him. All other processes are meant for teaching one how to surrender ultimately unto the lotus feet of Krishna. I was listening to a lecture this morning given by Prabhupada, and somebody asked the question that over lifetimes, we've all seen so much. How do you basically get relief from those scenes? And Prabhupada basically said it'll take 1 minute. You just have to surrender to Krishna and all your sins have gone. So when they talk about surrendering onto Krishna, is that literally surrendering? Or you give up everything that you have materially and whatever you're doing in your life and just surrender to Krishna?
It's nothing to do. Surrendering to Krishna, according to my meager alpa understanding, is nothing to do with anything external. It's really, really a state of your heart.
Right.
It's when you're within yourself, you fully surrender to Krishna, and this surrender. Obviously there are Sharanagati. There are six features of surrender to Krishna. Sankalpa. There are various verses. There's a verse for that. We won't go there, but the state of mind that the Lord is required is mentioned by Bibhishan in the Ramayana, in the Yud Kand of Ramayana. And this verse has been quoted many times in Prabhupada's purports. That's why I get these verses, I see it, I read it, I think, I'm right, that's the one, that I got to learn that one. So I learned this, I don't know, years ago, 83, 84, I learned that verse. I saw it, I said, yes, I'm going to learn that verse. So it's in the Yud Kanda of Ramayana. In the purport, it says Lanka Kand, but there's no Lanka Kand in Ramayana. So it's Yudakand. I think Ramchitra Manas may have a Lanka Kand, I'm not sure. But anyway, and Lord Rama says, Sakadeva Papano Yas Tapasmati Chayachate Abhayam Sarvata Tasmai Tadamye Tadvratam Mama. He said, it is my vow that if one once fully surrenders unto me, say, my dear Lord, I am yours from now on, and praise to me for courage. The courage to be able to surrender. You see, surrender requires courage. We don't have it. We don't have that courage. So we have to pray for it. So if we pray to the Lord for the courage, this is Lord Ram, Bibhishan, he's speaking like this. No, this is Ram speaking to Bibhishan. And then he says, if one prays to me for courage, to surrender, to have that courage within the heart, to fully surrender, meaning whatever Krishna gives me in life, if it's hell, I suffer like mad, things go wrong, whatever Krishna gives, I surrender to Krishna. And praise to me for the courage to undergo the Lord's path that the Lord has chalked out for him in his life. If he prays, then he says, he will become my ward, and it is my vow that I will always protect that soul. Vratam mama. It's there in Prabhupada's purports. Sakrideva Prapano Yas Tavasmati Chayachate. So that's something about the state of mind required to fully surrender to the Lord. That you pray for courage. Krishna, I know it's going to be difficult. Prabhupada said to surrender fully to Krishna, you have to walk through fire. Prabhupada said like this. One has to be prepared to walk through fire, to surrender fully to Krishna. So to fully surrender to Krishna means you accept whatever Krishna arranges for you in your life, whether it's good or bad, whether it's happy or sad, whether you're a success or a failure. All these things are there in Gita, that success, failure, victory, these are all, you've got to rise above these things. They're of no consequence. The only business of success and failure and good and bad in this world is to do with the ahankar. The ahankar is very concerned about how one is seen by others. And if I'm a success, if I'm seen as a failure, but one who is above the anahankara eva cha. This is one of the symptoms of knowledge spoken by Krishna. There are 20 aspects of knowledge. What is knowledge spoken by Krishna in the 13th chapter, text number 8 to 12 of Bhagavad Gita. Who can find 13th chapter 8 to 12? Hey, we're having a shloka session here, look. I'm showing off now, look. I'm showing off now. 8 to 12. These are the 20 points of what is knowledge, and anything else besides this is ignorance, Krishna says. So if you want to know what knowledge is, it's there. 13, 8 to 12.
I've
Five
got it.
shlokas.
Amanitva.
8 to 12.
Is that the one? 13, 8 to 12? Amanitva madavitva mahimsa gnantirajavam. Is that the one?
Acharyo pasanam shocham.
Acharyopasanam socham stairyam matya vinigraha. Vinigraha.
That's right.
Indriyartheshu vairagyam ahankara eva.
Anahankara.
Ahankara eva cha janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukkha doshanudarshanam.
Okay, go to the translation now.
Okay.
Jai, can you do the translation?
Yeah. Humility, pridelessness, non-violence, tolerance, simplicity, approaching a bona fide spiritual master, cleanliness, steadiness, self-control, renunciation of the objects of sense gratification, absence of false ego, the perception of the evil of birth, death, old age, and disease, detachment, freedom from entanglement with children, wife, home, and the rest, even mindness amid pleasant and unpleasant events, constant and unalloyed devotion to me, aspiring to live in a solitary place, detachment from the general mass of people, accepting the importance of self-realization and philosophical search for the absolute truth. All these I declare to be knowledge, and besides this, whatever there may be is ignorance.
Ding-ding. If you want to know what knowledge is, there it is. But who will take it? Who will take it? Who will learn that? Nobody. Too lazy. Kali Yuga means we're lazy. Alex, what are we?
Lazy even to press the mute button, unmute button. So
Prabhupada says lazy means crazy. So we're lazy. But I'm making my students here on the shloka that learn this. And we're learning it thoroughly, each point, going through this. So we understand what knowledge is. I mean, each of those 20 points you can write a book on. You can write a book. You can write a book as big as my Monier Williams Sanskrit dictionary. You can write a book as big as this on one of those points. This is my burglar basher, by the way. If any burglar comes here, they're going to get Monier Williams right on their head. Okay.
I have Bhagavad Gita. I have Bhagavad Gita in French. Try this
Okay, Bhagavad Gita.
in
Quelle
French.
heure est-il? What time is it? Écoutez.
It's 21:25.
Anyway, there you go. You know where it is now. This is anahankara. So the ahankara, you see, is interested. It's only attached to, how we are seen. Am I a success? Am I a failure? Am I a good person? Am I a bad person? Will people like me? This is all ahankar. So Krishna is free from ahankar, and his pure devotees, they are free from ahankar, but they're freed because they've accepted Krishna's path fully. They're fully surrendered and allowed Krishna. And Prabhupada knew that who was ruining his business. Prabhupada knew who ruined his business. It was Krishna. Krishna destroyed his business. And for that, he got so much criticism. So much. And then he tries to preach Krishna consciousness, and he struggles, comes to the United States of America and Europe. And what happens? His own God brothers are criticizing him. You can't win. But one who is anahankara, one who is devoid, who is allowed Krishna to remove the ahankar, has no interest at all in the externals, no external, and no interest at all in how they're seen, as good or bad. Okay, so the next part then, go on then, Jigna, this is your turn now.
Since the perfection of such austerity was completely manifested in the lives of the gopis, Uddhava was fully satisfied upon seeing the transcendental position. He continued, "My dear gopis, the mentality you have developed in relationship with Krishna is very, very difficult to attain, even for great sages and saintly persons. You have attained the highest perfectional stage of life. It is a great boon for you that you have fixed your minds upon Krishna and have decided to have Krishna only, giving up your families, homes, relatives, husbands, and children for the sake of the Supreme Personality. Because your minds are now fully absorbed in Krishna, the Supreme Soul, universal love has automatically developed in you. I think myself very fortunate that I have been favored by your grace to see you in this situation."
Yeah. See, since the perfection of such austerity was manifested in the lives of gopis, so see the gopis already, they performed in incredible austerities in previous lives, as did Krishna's mother and father, Devaki and Vasudev, to get Krishna. They were Dara and what were they called? Dhara and
Was it Sutapa?
no, Dhara. I can't remember the name now. Dhara. Maybe it was Sutapa. Can't quite remember the name. Dhara was the lady anyway. But they performed great austerities. And the Rishi Gopis performed great austerities. The Shruti Gopis were personified Vedas coming down as gopis. The Nitya Siddha Gopis came with Radha and Krishna from Goloka. The Sadhaka Gopis, who had taken birth in their previous life, they had attained the highest stage and they had now taken birth to associate with the eternally liberated souls and Krishna. So all these different gopis had performed great austerities, studied Vedas, everything. And the result of all the knowledge and all their renunciation was anahankara. Anahankara, which means that when you have attained the greatness of the perfection of the perfected stage, one is not even interested in that knowledge anymore. One's not even interested in having knowledge. So that's the danger of Sattva Gun, is that as a Brahmin, and the Brahmins are considered to be in Sattva Gun, that's their Varna. And one of the dangers of being in Sattva Gun is you become attached to the knowledge, you see. You become attached to being to giving the knowledge and having great knowledge and all this. This is also ahankar. Ahankar. We have to let go of that knowledge. And the gopis were simple cowherd girls. They were simple girls. They weren't interested in knowledge. They'd surpassed that stage of attaining transcendental knowledge. And they now was on the platform of pure devotion, which is anahankara. It's one of the symptoms of knowledge. It's one of the symptoms of knowledge, yet they surpass knowledge itself. So knowledge isn't the goal. The jnanis, they think the knowledge is the goal. It isn't the goal. The goal is to actually transcend even transcendental knowledge. But we need transcendental knowledge to be able to attain that stage of anahankara and pure devotion. So, wow, it's already past. Alex, can you just do the next one quickly?
Thank you. Uddhava did not deliver to the gopis the written message brought from Krishna, but he personally read it to them. The message was very gravely written, so that not only did the gopis, but all the empiric philosophers might understand how pure love of God is, intrinsically integrated with all the different energies of the Supreme Lord. From Vedic information, it is understood that the Supreme Lord has multi-energies, Parayasya, Sakti, Vividevya, Suryat. Also, the gopis were such intimate personal friends of Krishna that while he was writing the message of them, he was so moved that he could not write distinctly. Uddhava, as a student of Brishpati, had very sharp intelligence. So instead of handing over the written message, he thought it is wise to read it personally and explain it to them. Okay, do you want me to continue to the last?
No, let's me to say the last one here.
Uddhava continued, "These are the words of the personality of Godhead. My dear gopis, my dear friends, please know that separation between ourselves is impossible at any time, at any place, or under any circumstances, because I am all-pervading."
Yeah, this all-pervasiveness.
This all-pervasiveness of Krishna is explained in the Bhagavad Gita in both the 9th and the 7th chapters. In the 9th chapter, Krishna is described as all-persuasive. in his impersonal feature. Everything rests in him, but he is not personally present everywhere. And in the seventh chapter, it is stated that the 5 gross elements, earth, water, fire, air, and sky, are the 3 subtle elements, mind, intelligence, and ego, are all the inferior energies. But there is another superior energy, which is called the living entity. The living entities are also directly part and parcel of Krishna. Therefore, Krishna is both the material and the efficient cause of everything. He is always intermingled with everything as cause and effect. Not only the gopis, but all living entities are always inseparably connected with Krishna in all circumstances. The gopis, however, are perfectly and thoroughly in cognition of this relationship with Krishna, whereas the living entities under the spell of Maya, the illusionary energy, are forgetful of Krishna and think themselves separate identities having no connection with him.
Okay, so the next part now is love of Krishna. Okay, so that's the next part. So we can finish. Hopefully, we'll finish the very long chapter. This is next week, and of course, Prabhupada is referring to Bhagavad Gita 9.4. Who can find 9.4 very quickly before we finish? Who's on the ball for 9.4? Prabhupada is saying the all-pervasive aspect of Krishna is explained in the 9th chapter. I know this verse. I've studied this verse. It's a very powerful verse. Who knows? Who can find 9.4? Go on, Smita. Go on.
Do you want me to say the Sanskrit bit?
No, I'll say the Sanskrit. Mayata tam idam sarvam jagadavyakta murtina matstani sarvabhutani maya tesvavastitaha. Okay, carry on.
By me, in my unmanifested form, this entire universe is pervaded. All beings are in me, but I am not in them.
There we are. So Krishna is explaining how he is everywhere in his Avyakta Murti. Avyakta Murti is explained to be like the sunshine is like the sun. So when we say the sun has come here, the sun is in my room, that is Avyakta Murti. The Avyakta Murti of the sun, the formless aspect of the sun, is the sunshine. So by sunshine, the sun is everywhere, yet the sun is 92 point something million miles from the earth. At the same time, it is so powerful, we can see the sun. I mean, sometimes you say, wow, I can see 20 miles. Look at those mountains, 30 miles away, 20 miles. Look, we can see 93 million miles. Hello. Every day we can see up nearly 93 million miles. Hallelujah. What a revelation that is. Now that's what I call long-sightedness. Don't need glasses. You can see the sun. But at the same time, we feel the sun. Today, we're getting sunshine finally. And it's nice to experience that heat, that warmth. Who likes the warmth of the sun on their arms and their face? And you feel that warmth. Who doesn't like the sun? Smita, do you like the sun?
I do. I like the sun, yes.
Okay. So I'm not talking about the newspaper, not that one.
No.
That's rubbish. I remember when it came out in 1971, I think it was, and they you had these things to cut out in there, tokens to get you to buy it. But it's a really bad newspaper. Terrible. So the thing is, that sun in the sky is here right now. And Prabhupada says that the sun is so amazing how the Avyakta Murti of the sun is everywhere, that the sunlight comes to the tree and the branches and the all the plants, and the photosynthesis, the process of photosynthesis on the leaves where the sun is giving that energy into the plant to help it to grow. Without the sun, the tree will not grow. Without the sun, we cannot live, because if the trees aren't growing, we can't breathe, because the process of life on the planet is the trees will breathe out the carbon dioxide. We breathe out the oxygen, and breathe in our carbon dioxide. So there's balance in the planet. So the trees now, without them, but what does a tree give us? Shade from the sun. So the tree is giving us a shade from the sun. It's produced by the sun, but it shades us from the sun. And then the water, where's the water coming from? We're drinking water. It's coming from the sun. Because without the sun, the seawater will not evaporate into the cloud. And they give us water. So without the sun, we cannot live. We do not have water, and we do not have the heat and the light to give the plants life, and the plant life is giving everyone life, because the animals, even for the animal eaters, the meat eaters, they have to have plants for the animals to live. So the whole process is like, but that sun that's giving all that energy is millions of miles away, yet the sun is everywhere. You know, we're living by the mercy of the sun, actually. Yet we're nowhere near the sun. So this verse is something like that. Okay, 9:4 Bhagavad Gita, very interesting verse. Okay, after all that, I will say Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I will see you next week.
Congratulations to you and everyone.
Yes.
Bye, everybody.
And Smita, we're coming soon with those rasgulas.
Okay, I look forward to it.
And look out in Mitcham. We'll be down there soon. And Jigna, where's Jigna? Where are you, Jigna?
In near Harrow in Kenton.
Oh, in Harrow, Kenton. You're a Kenton girl. I've been up and down that Kenton road a few times, I tell you now.
Yeah.
And of course, I will always go shopping at Kingsbury Fruit and Veg. That was my always shopping. Grain Mill. They all know me. Barrett. They all know me around there for years. Joshi, Mittaiwala, Gayatri. When they see me walking in the shop, they shake, you know. Oh, he's not coming for another donation. Hare Krishna.
Oh,
Hare
Prabhu,
Krishna.
I found out it's Dhara and Drona
Drona and Dara.
and Prishni and Sutapa.
Prishni and Sutapa. Thank you very much. Well done. Let's give her a clap for that. We'll call you the researcher.
Yeah.
That's what I do. That's my job.
Oh, ding dong. There we are, you see. Okay, Alex, take care.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Haribol.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Voice of Srila Prabhupada.
All good.